What would you do if the person you love betrayed you in front of everyone? I'm not talking about some harmless lie or a stupid mistake. I mean stealing from you, robbing you blind, and smiling in your face the whole time. My name's Mark. I'm from Ohio, and for years, I thought I had it all. A steady business, a comfortable home, and a wife, Rachel, who I believed was in it for the long haul. We had barbecues in the backyard, Friday night football on TV, neighbors dropping by with a six-pack. Rachel would decorate the house every fall with pumpkins on the porch, post pictures on Facebook about how blessed we were, and tell her friends how proud she was of me. It looked like the American dream. But while I was breaking my back running the company, Rachel was running her own little side hustle. She was siphoning money out of my accounts and tucking it away in places I didn't even know existed.
And the thief? She wasn't a stranger. She was my wife.
It started small, a few $100s missing here and there, easy to overlook when payroll, suppliers, and taxes are flying across your desk. But after a while, the numbers just didn't add up. I'd stay up late at the kitchen table, coffee going cold, spreadsheets in front of me. I kept asking myself if I was slipping or if someone was bleeding me dry. I decided to keep quiet, to play dumb. Because if my gut was right, Rachel wasn't just a cheater, she was a thief. And thieves don't get warnings, they get caught. And that's when I knew my marriage wasn't just in danger. My entire life was under attack. Once you start doubting your own wife, every smile looks fake. Every "I love you" feels like a line from a script. So I dug deeper, quietly. I checked bank statements, business transfers, even old tax records. And there it was, money flowing into accounts I'd never seen before. Rachel had set up fake vendors, fake invoices. The names weren't random either. One invoice went to her cousin's old address. Another was a consulting firm that didn't even exist on Google. Each line item looked legit on paper, until you actually traced it.
Here's what cut the deepest. The person I slept next to was stealing from me.
It hit like a punch to the gut. She didn't just want comfort, she wanted control, a secret safety net, in case she decided I wasn't enough anymore. I wanted to confront her right there, to slam the evidence on the table. But then I thought, why give her the satisfaction of a fight? Why not let her hang herself with her own rope? Be honest. Would you keep quiet or explode? So I made a decision. I started staging my downfall. I told Rachel the company was struggling, contracts drying up, debts piling high. I sold off a few assets to make it look real. I even let our lifestyle slip. No more dinners at Texas Roadhouse. No surprise weekend getaways, just frozen pizza and excuses. And you know what she did? She didn't comfort me. She didn't say, "We'll get through this." She started pulling away. That was my confirmation. She wasn't in it for me. She was in it for the money. And when she thought the money was gone, she started looking for her exit. You can always tell when someone's halfway out the door. Rachel started staying late at the gym. Her phone never left her hand. She laughed at texts she wouldn't show me. One night, I accidentally saw a message pop up. "Can't wait till you're mine for real."
Guess what? The man she was texting wasn't just some fling. It was a guy with money. More money than me.
I scrolled a little further when she left the room. Pictures of wine bottles, beach houses, promises of trips to Miami and Cabo. He sent selfies in front of a lake house with a boat tied up out back. Stuff I never gave her, not because I couldn't, but because I thought we were building a future, not living off fairy tales. So now the picture was clear. Rachel wasn't only robbing me, she was preparing her grand escape. Her little fantasy? Leave the broke husband, run off with Mr. Big Wallet, and live off the stash she'd been stealing for years. But here's the thing. The stash was already gone. I had moved every dollar she thought she'd hidden into a trust fund under our kids' names. She didn't know it yet, but the day she reached for that money would be the day her world collapsed. I chose the slow burn, Because nothing hurts a traitor more than realizing they trapped themselves. A few weeks later, I told Rachel I was done. Business bankrupt. Credit maxed out. Even the house was on the line. Her reaction? Not shock. Not fear. Relief. She smiled. Actually smiled.
Do you know how twisted that feels? To watch your wife grin while you pretend to lose everything?
She started packing lighter, dressing sharper, whispering on the phone more. I even caught her humming around the house like she was counting down the days. Then came the big night, a Friday. She told me she was going to help a friend move. I sat in the dark living room, beer sweating in my hand, lights off, eyes on the street. Right on time, a sleek black Mercedes pulled up. Its headlights swept across the yard, lit up the pumpkins on the porch like some twisted stage set. Rachel stepped out with a suitcase, heels clicking on the driveway. She didn't even glance back at the house. She just slid into that car like she'd been rehearsing it for months. The door shut with a heavy thud. It sounded less like a car door, more like a coffin lid. And I knew she was gone. Or so she thought.
Would you give them another chance, or walk away for good?
Me? I waited, because the real show was about to begin. The next morning, Rachel strolled back in, acting like nothing happened. Bag over her shoulder, hair perfect, perfume still fresh. She even kissed me on the cheek, like I was some clueless fool. But I stayed quiet, because I knew what was coming. A few days later, she made her move. She sat at the kitchen counter, pulled out her laptop, and logged in, fingers tapping fast, like she was already spending the money in her head. And then it happened, the moment I'd been waiting for. Her face froze, eyes locked on the screen. At first, she blinked, leaned closer, as if refreshing the page would change reality. Then her cheeks flushed red. Her breathing picked up, mouth half open, like the oxygen had been sucked from the room. Every dollar she thought she had stashed away, gone. What she saw wasn't riches, it was debt, negative balances flashing in bold numbers. Monthly fees and chargebacks had chewed those empty shells below zero. I drained every cent weeks earlier into a trust the bank couldn't touch. She ran her hand through her hair, slammed the laptop shut, then opened it again like maybe it was a mistake. The panic in her eyes grew darker each second. Her fingers trembled on the keys, searching for something that wasn't there.
Would you like to guess what she said to me? Not, "I'm sorry." Not, "I messed up." She screamed, "What did you do?"
That was the proof. She didn't care about us, about love, about trust. She cared about the money she stole, and now it was gone forever. For her, that was the real bankruptcy. Her rich boyfriend, the guy in the Mercedes, he ghosted her the second he realized she had nothing to offer. No stash, no fallback, no future. And me? I wasn't broke, not even close. My company was alive, stronger than ever, under a new name she didn't know. The money she thought she owned now belonged to our kids, safe, untouchable. Rachel tried to beg, to bargain, to twist the story. She left notes on the counter, sent long texts late at night, even cried on the porch once, hoping I'd open the door. But the truth was written on her face. She had gambled everything on greed, and she lost.
So tell me, did I do the right thing, or was I just a fool?
Because the truth is, she didn't just lose me that day. She lost herself. And here's the part I'll never forget. Silence. I never yelled, never explained, never gave her the fight she wanted, and silence cut deeper than any revenge. If this story made you feel something, hit like and subscribe. Every betrayal has its ending here.